Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dana. I was born and raised in Kentucky in the United States, but now I'm living in Japan. And I make podcast style videos to help you learn English through American culture and everyday life. You can watch this video like normal or feel free to just listen to my voice like the radio. Everyone, let's catch up a little first before we get into today's topic. I have gotten quite a few new subscribers recently, so I want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I'm still open to new ideas for videos, so if you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. I have already gotten a couple suggestions for topics and video format, and I am planning to make those videos, so please give me a little time. Anyway, how is everyone doing? I'm preparing this video in the first half of March, and it looks like the pollen allergy season has started. Pollen allergies. This means around this season, when you go outside, you get symptoms like runny nose, sneezing, and itchy eyes. Do you guys have pollen allergies? A lot of my friends do, and it was crazy how their allergies switched on, just like that. A few days ago, a lot of people around me suddenly started sneezing and blowing their nose nonstop, even though they were fine just a week before. Every year, I'm shocked at how severe pollen allergies are for some people in Japan. You may have noticed by the way I'm talking about this, but I actually don't have pollen allergies. I know. I'm super lucky. In the US, many people are also affected by seasonal allergies, but I feel like it's worse in Japan. I don't know. It could be my imagination. If any of you are living abroad, let me know the seasonal allergy situation in the country where you are. And for those of you in Japan, I hope you can find a good way to manage your pollen allergy symptoms. Hang in there, okay? So what are we going to talk about today? To lead into today's topic, let me share a conversation I had in the past with a Japanese person. This was back a few years ago. I was talking to one of my Japanese friends, and his birthday was coming up. So I asked him, "Oh, what are you going to do for your birthday? Are you going to have a party?" I was expecting him to say yes, but he looked at me and he kind of laughed and said, "A party? Nah." And I was confused. So I replied, "What? But it's your birthday. It's your special day, so you're gonna celebrate, right?" But he told me that adults in Japan don't really celebrate birthdays, at least not in the same way we do in the US. Of course, this is a conversation with just one person, so if anyone feels this is not accurate, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, I just remembered this conversation recently and thought it would be fun to share American birthday party culture with everyone in today's video. Now let's get started. In the US, birthdays are extremely important no matter your age. Maybe some of you who have watched my other videos are catching on, but Americans really love celebrating people. We love holidays and events. They have a certain significance for a lot of people, and this also applies to birthdays. To American people, birthdays are a day where we make someone feel special. It's their special day. On this day, that person deserves to be celebrated. That's why, like my friend, if someone says, "Oh, I'm not doing anything for my birthday," a lot of Americans are shocked or we feel sad for that person. I know it may seem weird or even rude to assume someone is sad or lonely for not celebrating their birthday, but many people think like this in the US. It's just part of our culture. In fact, some people celebrate birthdays for longer than just one day. On social media, I have seen some people, mostly younger women, talk about birthday weeks or birthday months. Yeah, for example, if someone's birthday is in June, June would be their birthday month. They plan multiple events throughout the month to celebrate their birthday, like taking a birthday trip, birthday parties, stuff like that. I will say, though, people who celebrate their birthday to this extent can come off as, how can I put it, excessive, like too much. This behavior is a little controversial. I personally don't use terms like birthday week or birthday month, but I do see younger generations using them, and I think this really illustrates how seriously American people think about birthdays. Now that we've established birthdays are important, let's talk about what Americans actually do on their birthdays, starting with kids. For young kids, many parents have themed birthday parties. For example, if their kid is really into Star Wars, they'll have a Star Wars themed birthday party. If they're really into Minions, they'll have a Minions themed birthday party. This means the cake, the decorations, everything will be related to the theme. Also, we usually play party games and give out party favors. Party favors are small gift bags that you give to guests for coming to the party. Since the parents have to plan everything, this can be a lot of work for them, but it's a good chance for families to make memories with their kids. Let me share a little story about one of my themed birthday parties when I was a kid. Okay, there's this show called Hannah Montana. Maybe some of you know it. If you Google her name, Hannah Montana, you can see a picture. Well, you don't need to know the details of the show, but just know I was obsessed with the main character. I loved her. She had a very distinctive look. She wore a bright blonde wig and a sparkly makeup. So I got a group of my friends together, maybe around 8 people, and there was a shop in the mall that did Hannah Montana makeovers. So we went there. They make you look like her. They make you look like Hannah Montana. So imagine 8 girls all wearing bright blonde wigs, sparkly makeup, and jewelry walking around the mall. I really wish I had a picture from this day, but I couldn't find one, so please just use your imagination. But yes, that is how I chose to spend my birthday one year. Anyway, as we get older, the way we celebrate our birthday changes. Let me mention here some important milestones, milestone birthdays in the US. Milestone means an important stage in your life. The first milestone birthday is at 16 years old. We sometimes call it our Sweet 16. Here, I was able to find a vintage picture from my friend's Sweet 16, so you can see the decorations and everything. The party might look something like this. In the US, you legally become an adult at 18. So I always thought it was kind of weird that our 16th birthday is sometimes more important than our 18th. But one of the reasons is because in most states in the US, you become able to drive when you turn 16. You can legally drive a car, which is a big sign of independence and becoming an adult, right? And in some cases, parents actually gift their kids a car when they turn 16. My parents also gave me a car, not a new one, but one my dad had been driving for a while. It was a Hummer, a black Hummer. I'll put a picture here. Some of you might laugh at that. I was super excited to get this car, and I definitely got a sense of independence from being able to go by myself wherever I wanted to. So that's why our Sweet 16 is special. The next important birthday is 21. 21 years old. I think this birthday is one of, if not the biggest, milestone, bigger than 16. Can anyone guess why? Why becoming 21 years old is so important? What can you do after you turn 21 in the US? Do you know? The answer is drink alcohol. Being able to drink alcohol legally is one reason our 21st birthday is so important. Of course, the alcohol itself is not really the reason. It's just because this signals the person becoming an adult. There's one more reason. In the US, you used to become an adult legally when you turn 21. This used to be the law. However, this changed in the 1970s. In the 1970s, the age was lowered to 18. The drinking age was also temporarily lowered to 18, but only that ended up being changed back to 21. The drinking age was changed back to 21. So for a lot of people, 21 is still seen as the real age when you become an adult. You can drink alcohol, and you have a lot more responsibilities in life. You're almost done with college, which most people finish at age 22. So you're about to start working. This is why our 21st birthday is very important. After our 21st birthday, we have a big birthday around every 10 years. That means when we turn 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on. These are also milestone birthdays. So even as we get older, we still have birthday parties to celebrate the person. Birthday parties definitely aren't only for kids. Next, let's talk about how Americans prepare for birthday parties. If you have any friends from the US, I would especially pay attention to this part. If you get invited to a birthday party for an American person, this should give you an idea of what you need to prepare. The first thing I want to talk about is birthday cards. Birthday cards. If you attend a birthday party for someone you're close to, you usually give them a card. You can buy these cards at a big supermarket like Walmart or a drugstore like Walgreens. There is a huge selection of cards at these stores. Funny cards, serious cards, sentimental cards, cards with beautiful pictures, with art on them. So you can choose a card to fit the feeling you want to express to that person. This is a side note, but Americans don't only give cards on birthdays. If you look at the card section at Walmart, for example, you can see cards for a bunch of different occasions. Birthdays, weddings, funerals, graduation, the list goes on and on. So giving cards is an important tradition in the US. Anyway, for birthdays on the card, we write a short message and sign our name. You can write whatever you want. In very simple cases, we just write happy birthday, or you can write some encouraging note for the person. In my family, when it's someone's birthday, all my family members write their name on the card and we give it to the person. So you can also give cards as a group. Cards are mostly given to friends and family, so if you're invited to someone's birthday party but you don't know them very well, you don't need to give them a card. Next, you need to prepare a present too, right, when it's someone's birthday. I've heard in some countries it's much more common to give money on someone's birthday instead of a present. In the US, within families, we do sometimes give the person money. My parents have given me money on my birthday before. But generally speaking, Americans prefer to give gifts. I've never given anyone money on their birthday, and I personally would not recommend giving money to friends. To me, that feels a little weird. People feel more appreciated when they receive a gift rather than money. If you give someone money, it might feel like a business transaction. Now, this is generally speaking. Okay, I'm sure there are some Americans out there who would prefer money. So this is just based on my experiences. From an American perspective, when you give someone a gift, that shows that you took time out of your day to think about the person, to think about what they might want for their birthday. Also, keep in mind that the amount of money you spend on the present isn't as important as you might think. Even if the present is cheap, it can still show you care about someone. For example, I found a picture from my friend's 16th birthday, which I will show you now. At that time, I was really into drawing. So I drew a picture of her and I framed it. It didn't cost much, but it took time to make. For friends we're really close to, personalized gifts like these are really popular. If, let's say, you have no idea what to get someone or you have no time to get them a gift, but still want to avoid giving them money, gift cards are not a bad idea. A gift card is something you can use to buy products or a service at a specific place. For example, if your friend really likes Starbucks, you could get them a $20 Starbucks gift card. But I wouldn't give them $20 in cash. If you give them the gift card, this will at least show that you know your friend well. You know that they like Starbucks. So I think it will be appreciated more. One more thing we usually prepare for birthday parties is birthday cake. If you're celebrating your partner or a family member's birthday, you might bake the cake by yourself. My mom actually bakes a cake every time it's someone's birthday in my family. She makes the exact same chocolate cake every time, and it's great. But of course, if we don't have time or want something more elaborate, we'll just buy a cake. For example, some people like to get pictures on their cake, like a picture of the birthday girl or boy. Or as I mentioned for kids earlier, if it's a themed birthday cake, we usually order a custom cake from a bakery. I did find a picture of the chocolate cake my mom makes, so I want to show that here. I have twin brothers, which is why there are 2 cakes here. My mom has to make 2 cakes every year because they have the same birthday. And here it looks like my brothers were really into NASCAR. NASCAR is an auto racing group, car racing. So you can see how she decorated the cake to fit this theme. And once you've got the cake, you have to get candles. So we like to put the same number of candles as the person's age on the cake. For example, if a kid is turning 8 years old, we put 8 candles on the cake. If they're turning 15, we put 15 candles on the cake. Of course, if someone is turning 60, well, we can't fit 60 candles on the cake. So in that case, we just get a decorative candle that has the number 60 on it. But now that I mention it, the picture I just showed, there were 5 candles. Not totally sure what was going on there. We don't follow this rule every time, as you can see, but a lot of people do. And the reason birthday cakes are so important is because they are part of the main event at birthday parties. That is singing happy birthday, right? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, this song. So what we do is the birthday person sits in front of the cake, everyone gathers around them, and we light the candles one by one. After we light the candles, everyone sings to that person. Then after we sing, the birthday person gets to blow out all the candles. When they do this, they're supposed to make a wish. It could be something they want to achieve that year or anything really. Then after that, we finally get to eat the cake. This tradition is also very important. For me, I don't even feel like it was my birthday if I don't eat cake and have someone sing to me. So what does everyone think about these traditions? Does having people sing to you sound fun, or does it sound embarrassing? If there's something you're curious about regarding this topic, I will answer questions in the comments. But we're going to wrap up here. Oh, also, let me know how you celebrated your last birthday. Let's compare our experiences in the comments. Okay? Thank you for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.